All right, welcome back. Now, just for us to let you know, say opportunity day for you to win cartons of Kellogg, cartons of cornflakes, and the rest of them on top of the show. Now, yesterday we asked you when Kellogg's International be start. Now, all you need to do now, just let us know when you actually start internationally. Just enter our website, where it be www.wazobiatv.tv. You go see a small icon for there, and then you go understand them better. And
all right.
We should go on a break.
Yes, we'll go on a break, but very quickly, don't forget to see the website now, wazobiatv.tv, for you to actually go there to answer the question for day number 2. Make a small break right now. By the time we'll come back, we will give you a proper introduction of the guests we'll get this morning. Stay with us.
All right, I'm sorry for that, and welcome back. Now, time for us to meet our guests inside the house. And we get a futurist in the house. We're going to talk more about corruption, the fight against corruption, for example, in Nigeria so far. And if really it is evident, say, this present administration and part of their agenda in fighting corruption has been successfully, to a certain extent, achieved. Join me, welcome Kriz David, the convener of Emerging Leaders Forum, and also in our futurist. Good to have you in the house.
Good morning.
Welcome very much. Welcome,
morning, Nigerians.
Okay, so very quickly now, a lot of Nigerians, they doubt the fight where this current administration be vouching they would do when they enter inside office. Because why? Because it be like saying Nigerians, when they feel the impact of this corruption, when they see how some of our leaders, they carry this money, they work out. But when they talk, say they recover some of this money, till date, we never hear or see say this money or this and they do certain things inside the economy. Now, we know say this money, they talk, say they go use part of the recovered loot to fund the budget. And as we speak, 2018 budget has not been fully implemented. You feel, say, this current administration is getting it right in this fight?
Well, say corruption. Now, one of the things when they make us carry last globally. So it's very important, say, make we understand what in this corruption mean. Here and there, or there is argument, there is the government is winning the war or corruption is fighting back. But which are for like talk, say, make we look at countries that are least corrupt. How are they fighting corruption? So that brings us to this Transparency International. So the Corruption Perception Index. Now, when you look at the first 10 countries, in fact, the number 1 for the 2018 index is Denmark. It's the least corrupt country. So over 10, the country score 9.3.
Wow.
That is Denmark. So it's the least corrupt. Then followed by New Zealand, followed by Finland, followed by Sweden, then followed by Switzerland. These are the 5-10 countries. Now, when you read how these countries have been able to fight corruption, 3 things will come out. You'll see 3 things consistent. One is transparency in systems of government. Then 2, you will see independence of the judiciary and sound legal framework. Then number 3, you will see the word equality. So that also formed my model, which I use in analyzing corruption, how countries can become corruption-free. So corruption actually gets spirit, it gets soul, and it gets body. So in Nigeria, what you see today is that we're actually fighting from just one goal, which is the body. So you hear a lot of noise in the papers, X amount has been looted, this and that, you know. So you hear a lot of noise, and you don't see the impact. So that's why some people, even they talk, say, okay, all this money when I talk, saying I don't even recover, we still they hungry. And people are still looting. So let's understand what corruption is. So the first thing I would say is that corruption simply means wrong set of values. Now, the Transparency International looks at how corruption is carried out in public service. But if we look at the general society, you discover that, say, even the 2.8, when we get over 10, will not go reach that side. Look at the corporate sector. Take the banks, for example. Somebody collect loan. Say you want to do business. You don't agree the interest. Very high interest rate, 27 or sometimes 30-something%. But they will go charge them again SS. That is corruption. Look at the petrol attendant. You say you won't buy 40 liters. By the time the guy sell fuel for your car, now 20 liters.
So are you saying, they talk say corruption, is they equal to tiffing or tiffy-tiffy?
It's just one aspect of it.
Oh, so tiffy-tiffy is just one aspect of corruption.
Now, you know what, even in your explanation, because I feel like you explained further, now you just identify different cases and scenarios where corruption can be embedded into our daily activities. Now, we only see corruption as political leaders stealing money. So how can we, now you don't come to the grassroots, even person where they sell petrol for filling station, how can we fight corruption from the grassroots?
So that's what I'm going to explain using the three models. Looking at the spirit, soul, and body of corruption. So let me continue with this example so that people will understand what better. Corruption simply actually means. Now, when you go back to government, by the time you do secret recruitment, that is corruption. You didn't take money, but secret recruitment.
You're not making it known.
Yes, you understand. You just bring people, maybe connected people like that from family, influential, all those things is also corruption. Now, that aspect is actually the soul. We talk about system. When you pervert a system, you are looking at the soul of corruption. When you now take money out, you are looking at the body, which is where we face. Now, you look at the spirit, which is the value system. There are certain things. What are the standards of living? What are the principles that guides our living as a nation or as people in the same society? Now, when you look at those three working together, you discover that in Nigeria, the only noise we hear is that body.
The body.
And the way we are even fighting it is not even the right way, because if you look at the first 5 countries, when I give example, not be all this gun and batting, like they say they fight them. You know, so they have very sound legal framework and independent judiciary. Okay. So what that means is that if you do the crime, you must what? Suffer the consequence. So, but here, we get grass cutter when they Asu Villa. Up till now, we don't know what happened. We have so many examples like that. When we come up, you only hear the noise and nothing is happening.
Okay, when we come back after this break, we will talk more about the spirit and even the soul, because like you talk, for Nigeria, we are concentrating more on the body.
Yes.
Now, how will we promote corruption from the grassroots? Now, we will discuss when we come back.
All right, we're going to pass for a small break now. On top of the hour, we get news. And of course, after the news headline, we'll come back inside the studio to talk more about the spirit and the soul parts of corruption for our country. Stay with us.
We don't talk about plenty scenarios where if we make a lot of Nigerians and even our politicians decide, say, come, looting public funds is the way out. And we still get the Futurist in the house, the convener of Emerging Leaders Forum. Kriz David is today with us talking about the fight against corruption so far.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Now, we will talk about the corruption, and they give us more insight and in-depth on top of the corruption angle in terms of body and soul. And we will talk and say, how can we really fight corruption from the grassroots, from people like you and I and Uwe?
Well, the only lasting and sustainable way of curbing corruption or creating a corruption-free society is to address it from our value system. Now, our values are the foundation of our character. Now, today in Nigeria, we are supposed to have a country which should be a land of opportunity. But the way it is now, it is a land for the opportunist. So our leaders, somehow, they don't have the foresight for tomorrow on how this country will be. So when they get there, all they need to do, or all we see them doing, is grabbing all these things for themselves. Now, that has trickled down to the ordinary man on the street. The analysis that, see, if you not cut corners, now me say you not go fit make am for this country. That's why you see so many people, even the woman when they sell garri for this thing, has to somehow beat the measurement, the mudu, you understand? To, cut corners. Because a country, you are supposed to have everything available for everyone. And that's why you see in those 5 countries I mentioned, one thing that you must see is that equality. And equality simply means that the basic needs of every person must be met. Hunger should not be something that somebody should be thinking of. So everything you think about, the basic needs, health care and all that, shelter, those things must be given. And in Nigeria, it's now difficult because the commonwealth that we are supposed to use in providing these things, a few people have cornered them. So the remaining people is now just fight for survival. That's why you see even your nanny for house go won't do something, because if where she dey eat belleful, where she come from, e not dey enough. So she must look for how she will take something, go house, or keep something for the rainy day, because people just have enough. They have seen that what we have cannot go round, because a few people have carried this thing. Instead of them to make this thing available and make it, multiply this thing for everybody. Now, this current government now, they've been fighting corruption from the body aspect. But so many things are going on from the soul aspect, especially employment. There are so many secret employments that are going on. So what that means is that the children of the poor do not even have the opportunity again to get good jobs. After you don't suffer, go school, hustle and all that, before you know, your mates, they say they don't employ them. You don't know how you take do interview and all that. And this is what is now turning a vicious cycle. So if we really want to fight this corruption, we have to fight it from the 3 aspects. First of all, we look at our value system. There are about 7 values that every country should espouse. So when those values are there, or virtues are there, you discover that there is that level playing field. Everybody is now living well. There is the basic things for life available to people. Then you now look at it from the soul aspect, which is you put in place systems to curb the human nature, because there is always human nature. That's why you see that the corruption perceptive, this thing, there is no 10/10. You understand? Because there is that human tendency.
Error, yeah.
But you use that system to fix that angle. You make things available for everybody to come. So if everybody sees as a level playing field.
But now you talk of making things available. Now, if in the process, because in the process of making things, don't be saying that if, in the process of making certain things, they're available, we need human factor. You need human capital. Now, if the same people we're supposed to put these systems in place still do not have this virtue or these values, then how this system fits they implemented or fit benefit everybody in the long run? Because if the people we're supposed to do the system as well corrupt spiritually, soul in their soul, in their spirit, and in their mind, how can this system be produced?
So that's why in Nigeria today we are clamoring for a new set of leaders. That's why we are talking about the emerging leaders. Because we have seen that the current model that these people they operate not going to take us anywhere. Whether the ones when don't rule for 16 years and the ones when they for 3 years or 4 years now, we don't see say all of them are the same thing. They don't have what will take us to that future. They don't have what will solve the problem we are currently having in Nigeria. That's why we are clamoring for these emerging leaders, the new set of leaders. So once we have those people coming on board, those people must have the right values. Then they must also understand systems. That is, they must have that insight, how things work out. Now, you now put in place the legal framework. That legal framework, we say, once you break the law, you're not supposed to look, say, this person is from my village.
Let's not forget that these are adults where you want to still infuse values into them. These are people who already, they don't train them for so many years in the values where they don't train them on. So I wonder how you can impose a new value on them. But before then, we need to just let our people know about Kellogg's.
Exactly. Don't forget to our Kellogg's question for the day is still out there for you to also answer on top of the websites. Now, Wazobia TV.tv for you to go there and answer the question. Now, the question for yesterday, that one, now, when Kellogg's International, when they founded, but today own, now, when Kellogg's Nigeria be they commissioned, that's like the question for today. So just waka go to the website, Wazobia, www.wazobiatv.tv. Waka go, and for there, you go see them. If you scroll down to the right-hand side of the page, you go see them for there, say Kellogg's Challenge, you go see them for there, anything about Kellogg's, and the question. Now, one question daily, now what they always ask. Feel free to answer on top of the website, or if you come on top of our social media platform, on top Instagram at NigerHalfCast and at Princess Owe. Make a small break right now. When we come back, we'll still get our guests in the studio, we'll still talk about corruption and the way forward. Stay with us.
We still get Kriz David, the futurist inside the house and the convener of Emerging Leaders Forum. And I come outside talk, say, how can you impute values on people where already they grown?
Well, the thing when I will talk, say, despite the fact, say, so many bad eggs, there are still few good ones. And no matter how darkness be, enough you compete with light. So these few ones, the few people, in fact, there are so many people out there that still have these good values. That's why they call on them. This time, you don't need to sit back. Come, be involved in the process or the leadership selection process.
Well, I'm very interested in the structure because we don't see some people where we believe or we thought had these values due to their humble beginnings. But when they enter there, we saw more pains than even the happiness where we think the person will actually give us. So now identifying the people with value and then going into the same structure where it never benefits Nigerians, how would this work?
Well, the thing is, we need more people to be there because we talk about democracy being a game of numbers.
All right, I'm going to need to hold you a little bit because we like so we get a caller on the line. We get John calling all the way from Lagos this morning. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the show.
You're welcome.
All right.
So, John, you get the answer for the Kellogg's?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah, tell us.
It's come to Nigeria in 2007, 11 years ago.
Wow.
Nine then commissioned Kellogg's for Nigeria.
Yes.
Okay, 2007. Nine day commission Lagos.
All right,
Kellogg's
thank you so much,
Nigeria.
John. And we will surely get in touch with you. Just wait a minute. We will get your details very shortly. But thank you for calling.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay, sir. So you better talk.
So, yeah, as I was saying, we need more of these people to come into government. We have, just like you said, when you have few good people there, these bad ones go strangulate them. But when you have so many good people coming into the system, for instance, you look at maybe the Senate, when you have good guys with this virtue, then by the time they raise a debate, maybe on their salaries that come, we are taking too much money. You understand? And you have good number of people that believe that, see, if we share part of these our salaries, that will help fund education and all that.
Wow,
By
let's
when
hope
we
they can
vote,
do that. But we're going to
Let me just hold you, please.
We get Ifedayo on the line calling from Lagos. Good morning, Ifedayo.
Good morning.
Welcome to the
morning.
show. All right, Ifedayo, you want to answer the question about Kellogg's, when the Kellogg's Lagos Nigerian company, when they be commissioned for inside Nigeria?
It was January 2018.
January 2018. All right, now your final answer be that?
I want to say something. It was launched this January 2018, but I think it was brought to Nigeria December last year.
All right, so now your final answer be that. So you need to choose one. Are you sticking to December or are you sticking to January?
January.
Now January they stick to. Your final answer,
Yes.
January. All right, you're going to need to hold on top of the phone lines when they get your details, and we're going to let you know whether you be the winner of the Star Prize, courtesy of Kellogg's. Thank you so much for calling.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank
All
you.
right. Now, sir, I want to ask because when it comes to, we're still talking about corruption and the way forward and the way to fight. Now, you feel so the country, they fight corruption, the body angle of corruption to the detriment or at the detriment of other sectors for the country?
yeah, that is what is happening. And that's why you hear the narrative that the government is not sincere, is being selective, you understand? Because the way they are fighting corruption. They are just fighting a few people or chasing recovery of loot. Now, the question when you go ask yourself, say, how many countries don't prosper or don't grow from recovery of loot? You understand? Well, from all my research, I never see any country when don't prosper from recovery of loot. But when you put sound systems in place, the value system of the country is right, then you begin to see productivity coming up. You understand? Everything, you know, good laws and policies, you know. Then some of these virtues we are talking, one of it is meritocracy. You understand? Let people merit their position. So that is where you now begin to see excellence, diligence.
We really wish that we should keep you from now to tomorrow, but thank you so much, Mr. Kriz David, for coming inside the studio. But before you come out, we get the final caller, Godwin. Hello, Godwin, quickly speak to us about Kellogg's. Godwin?
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, Godwin. So talk to us, when they commissioned Kellogg's for Nigeria?
Kellogg's Nigeria was commissioned in January this year.
January this year. Now, the last answer where you want to give us?
Yes.
All right, thank you so much for calling. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. All right, your final words as regards to corruption, just final words.
Well, for us to fight corruption effectively in Nigeria, we must fight it from the three angles. From the spirit, that is the value system, soul, putting systems in place, then the body, let's have sound legal framework. That is the only way we can fight corruption.
All right, thank you so much. Kriz David, I'm a futurist and a convener of Emerging Leaders Forum. Thank you very much. Now, just to state, for today, the person will actually chocolates the Kellogg's, where will they give out a carton of Kellogg's.
Yes.
Now, Ifedayo, and she be get them correctly. Kellogg's, they actually commissioned them for Nigeria Friday 1st, December 2017. Thank you so much, Ifedayo. Please call us back and give us all your details so that you fit come here and collect your carton of Kellogg's, courtesy Kellogg's Nigeria.
All right, now so we'll see I'm on top of the show. This particular show don't end for today, but we'll go there again tomorrow to give you more on top of the balance diet of entertainment. What's they happen for India abroad, we will give them with Ben Akede tomorrow. They make you get better day.
And you still get opportunity to chocolate Kellogg's too tomorrow, so make sure you watch us again on the show. My name is Sirimen Uwi Ehigamusoy. Thank you so much, Mr. Kriz David.
Thank you very much.
To enjoy more of these our Ogbonge videos when you just watch, press this button to subscribe on top of our YouTube page. You go love am.